Hi.
Hi! Hey!
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. I always look really weird when it first starts. I'm always staring at the screen.
Yeah, the beginning is super awkward because you're just there like, what do I say?
I don't know what to say. But anyways, welcome everyone to Wellness Wednesday Live. It's like my little thing I do every Wednesday with a different guest. And this week we have the lovely Aliaa. I'm very excited. We're talking all things staying healthy and just like fitness during isolation. I feel like I'm ready to get super motivated today.
Yeah,
I'm excited. So if you'd like to just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and who you are.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Hannah. So, hey guys, my name is Aliaa. I am a personal trainer and an online coach. I've been a personal trainer for 2 years. So I train clients in person, but I also do online training. And I'm also just starting to get the hang of being like a Instagram, I don't like the word influencer, but I'm trying.
I hate that word as well. It's so awkward.
I'm trying to make a good impact, and I'm trying to do YouTube as well on the side. And I just finished an undergrad, so I'm still like a student, like last year of university. Okay. And based in London.
What did you do at uni?
I did political science and languages.
Very nice. What uni did you go to? Was it in this country or?
Yeah, I was in London.
Oh, okay. Oh, my cousin's there at the moment, actually.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't tell you what he's doing. His degree is way too long. So he'll hate me for saying that, but I just cannot remember. So I think if we get started with the healthy topic. So what sort of things do you do to try and stay healthy? What are your go-to healthy meals?
So staying healthy, I'm really trying to, get my vitamins in, my minerals in, just lots of fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Honestly, frozen vegetables have been a godsend because they're so easy to prepare. I can't just be I'm lazy. They just take 2 seconds to prepare.
Yeah.
Frozen veg are great. Lots of fruit. I like blueberries, raspberries, even frozen fruit as well in smoothies, right?
Yeah, that's true. I haven't actually done much with frozen fruit.
You can do so much because if you have a blender and frozen fruit, you can make ice cream, healthy ice cream. You blend it with frozen banana, frozen berries, protein powder. It's really, really delicious.
Oh, I want to try that. That sounds so good.
Yeah. It's actually really nice.
No, I do the whole frozen veg thing. I found especially during isolation, it's been such a good thing because you don't want to be going out regularly to get fresh veg, fresh fruit. So and we've got 2 drawers full in our freezer of loads of frozen veg, and it's so good because when you're cooking, you're I can just add a bit in. You can do how much you want and everything. So yeah, I think that's such a good tip. What are your go-to meals then during isolation? Has there been anything?
Meals? Well, I kind of eat I'm pretty consistent with my meals. For breakfast, I love oatmeal. I'm a porridge girl. I love my oatmeal. Lunch and dinner are pretty much always the same. I am vegan actually, so I'm plant-based. I don't eat meat, but to get my protein in, I have this thing called seitan. So it's a vegan meat substitute that I make myself. I have a recipe on my page actually.
Oh wow! Okay, I've never heard of that.
It's really high protein. It's the best high protein vegan source of protein you can get. So I make it myself. It's really cheap, really easy to make. So I have a serving of that and then loads of vegetables.
Yeah.
Half a bag of frozen veg.
Yeah.
Just to fill up. It keeps you really full for long. And then for carbs, I'll have either rice or sweet potato. There's a common misconception around rice being unhealthy for you. It's really not bad for you.
Yeah.
It's very good source of
I love
carbs,
rice.
quick energy. So
and I love
as long as you don't drench it with oil, it's fine.
Yeah. I love the especially when you're because I'm really bad with portions, especially with carbs. I never know how much to do. So that I really love the microwave rice you can get because it's just it's so good especially because I live with my mum, so it's great. So we can portion it up and it's just 2 servings, and then you haven't done too much or too little. So I always find that really good. Well, I know it's such a good, and especially during isolation, it's such a good cupboard go-to. Because especially with pasta, because you buy the 500 gram packets, I'm always it's so easy to eat too much. So and pasta's my weakness. So
it is all about portion control, because some people will think certain foods will make me gain weight. It's never the food itself. It's about the calories that you're consuming. So if you're eating too many calories, you'll gain weight. if you're in a calorie deficit, then you'll lose weight. So it always depends on like how much you're eating.
Yeah.
So portion control, you're right. Like just buying those like ready bags, it's like so much easier to just know how much you're eating. Without having to like freak out or stress or anything.
Yeah, 100%.
It is really practical.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like, I've just like, they're so good. I'm just reading the comments.
These are my friends, Brian and Andre.
Oh, hi.
Hey guys.
I was just like, what is going on there? But portion control is definitely a thing. I think it's so easy to get caught up and be like, oh, because we're in lockdown, it's so easy to snack a lot. I think, like, what like healthy snacks do you have? Because like that's always my weakness.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's always my weakness, because you know, like when in between meals, it's always like, oh, shall I have a naughty something? And then you're like, no, don't do it. So yeah,
I actually like grabbed some snacks like right here to show you guys.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect.
So, for everyone that's like kind of into crisps or something salty, guys, popcorn.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing.
Like, people always think, oh, popcorn is unhealthy. It really isn't.
Yeah.
If you don't have, like, butter on it, it's completely fine. Super low calories. This is my favorite brand, the proper corn, the salted one. This is an amazing snack. Only, like, 80 calories per bag, and it's really good. You can have loads of it, and, like, you know, you're fine. And then this other godsend I found, they're these wafers.
Okay.
And, like, the brand is Askey's Wafers.
Okay.
I don't have, like, the packaging, but I just keep them in a Tupperware here. And, like, each wafer is, like, 5 calories. And it's, like, slightly sweet. And it's just crunchy. And it's just a nice snack to have. I dip it in my coffee and my tea. So between meals, it's just because I'm the same. I am a snack freak. I love to snack. So those are probably, like, my go-to crunchy ones. And then I know ice cream is a problem for some people.
This is
like,
me.
So if you eat the whole tub, Halo Top is your best friend. Because the whole tub is like 300 calories.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've got vegan ones as well. So I've got some vegan Halo Top in my freezer as well. So.
Halo, I think I've had that actually. Is that the one that's like reduced sugar or something?
It's just reduced calories, and they've got so many flavors, and they're like dairy ones, but they only have like I think 2 non-dairy flavors, which is still really good.
Yeah, I really like is it Jude's ice lollies? They're like dairy free, I think.
They've got dairy-free ones as well.
Yeah.
I actually have a tub of Jude's as well.
Yeah, they're really good. Because it feels like a naughty snack, but you feel like, oh, it's not so bad. Because they are, like, really thin. But I am so with you on the popcorn thing. I'm so glad, like, you said this. Because no one else I see, like, talking about fitness ever says about popcorn. And it's like, I am obsessed. I just bought some, like, popcorn kernels so I could make it however salty or sweet I want it. Because I do find sometimes when you buy, because I bought like a toffee one and I was like, okay, this is a little bit naughty. But yeah, no, I love, like, it's such a good snack. And I tried, I went to this like Free From Festival event ages ago, and they had this popcorn, but they used something else, and it was like a more high in protein. I can't remember what it was called. I'm going to have to find it and I'll share it on stories after. But it was really good, and they had like cinnamon flavoured, and it was, oh my god, it was so good. So it was just like a even healthier version of popcorn. So like if you're anti-popcorn, that's like another idea. But oh my gosh, those snacks are so good. What was the wafers called?
Askey's. I can write it down.
Yeah, because I've not heard of that before. Oh, we've got a question.
Wafers. People are asking, guys, feel free to ask us questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through the comments and answer all your questions. So drop them right now if you want.
Drop them. Okay, I'm going to have to look into those wafers, because sweet snacks are like my guilty pleasure. I do quite like the Naked bars.
They're really nice,
And I find them super filling as well. Because there's often
I don't really get full off them, actually.
Oh, do you not? Oh, see, I don't know. Like,
tiny.
No, but because they're quite chewy, I'm like, it feels like a bit more, I don't know, but I find them quite filling.
For like bars and stuff, if you freeze them, they're like more filling, they're more chewy, and they taste really good.
Ooh.
Especially protein bars. When you freeze protein bars, it's like an ice cream lolly, but it's not really ice cream, but like it tastes really nice.
Oh my god, there's so many tips here. I feel like I need to write something down. I'm like, this is so good. That's such a good idea. Like, okay, I need to do this now. I'm gonna try that. Because and I do like Naked bars. They are like probably, but you can make like energy bars quite easily yourself.
Yeah. But the thing is with like making those things yourself, like it's so hard to not eat the entire batch at once. Like, especially those energy balls, because they're based with, like, dates and nuts. Those foods are, like, really high in calories. They're, like, really dense in calories. So, you know, although they are them. It's so easy to eat so much.
Yeah,
you know, the calories add up really quickly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because we make energy balls, but then I like portion them down and stuff. But yeah, no, if you've got like loads of nuts and stuff and you don't know what to do, like ground them down and make energy balls, because it's so simple to make. Like once we realized how to make them, we were like, oh my gosh, it's so easy and like a healthier snack than eating a cake or something. But yeah, loving all those tips. Let's move on to workouts then. So what kind of workouts do you are your go-tos at the moment? What are you doing?
So I'm very lucky that I have access to weights.
Yes.
Because in general, before the lockdown, like my workouts were, you know, resistance training, lifting weights, bodybuilding style kind of workouts. So right now I'm training 5 days a week, and I do just weight training. My cardio, I'll either go like on a jog or a bike ride, but that's just like my cardio. It's not my main form of training.
Okay.
So yeah, I do like resistance training as my main form of
what
training.
would you like recommend then? Because like I've never really done many weights, because I've always been under like the whole premise of like you're gonna like build so much. I don't know, it's always that idea that you're gonna like become bigger. So I have some weights, but they are like really small ones. They're not anything like crazy big. But like what sort of thing are they? Just because I want to like build muscle more like in my arms and stuff. But like, is it still okay to do weights? Because I think that's definitely like a misconception that people have about it.
I think, well, especially with what I'm trying to, you know, teach girls more and more, is to really not be afraid of weights. Because I've been there as well. And once I started lifting weights, like that's when I actually started seeing the results I've always wanted to see. I'm still quite like relatively small. I mean, I'm a UK size 6 to 8, and I lift really heavy weights. I use like over 100 kilos of weights in my workouts. Like a lot of girls are like, "Oh my god, that's so heavy! It's not huge." And I'm like, we don't have enough testosterone to be that big, and also like it just takes years of training to get big.
Okay.
So if you want to build that whole like muscle tone, people say they want toned legs. They just want a bit more muscle definition and then less fat on their legs as well. So if you have light weights, that's a perfect start of basic exercises. So like for your legs, a squat, a hip thrust, a deadlift, those are perfect to do with dumbbells. For your upper body, what's really nice with girls is when you build your shoulders, you get the hourglass figure, because you're kind of like right here, big shoulders, small waist with the illusion of small waist, and then big glutes. So honestly, like advice to you and all the girls watching this, don't be afraid of weights. You know, I'm also like open to answering all the questions you might have about like training with weights, how to use weights, proper form. I post workouts and stuff as well. So I think it's like one of the best ways to train is using weights, definitely.
Okay. Would you like to, if you're just getting into weights, like how many times a week would probably be the best, like to kind of slowly get into it?
So if you're slowly trying to get into it, I'd recommend going 3 times a week and training your full body 3 times a week. So you're going to do a full body workout, lower body, upper body, like, you know, 45 minutes to an hour 3 times a week is great for a start.
Okay.
And then as you get better and better, you can gradually build up to doing 4 times a week, 5 times a week. And the more often you train, the more you can split up your body parts.
Yeah.
So you'll do legs and then upper body and then legs again, things like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it a go on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like favorite workouts, I suppose you'd say weights then. What do you think of like, I don't know, like doing either short bursts of workouts or like long workouts? Like what do you think? What's better for like working out? I don't know.
Okay, so it depends on like what your goal is. So for a lot of people, working out is just like a mental escape. It's for their mental health.
Yeah.
In that case, anything you do is beneficial.
Yeah.
Literally, like if you're sat at a desk all day, get up for like 10-15 minutes, go on like a short run, do a short like high intensity workout, like that's just body weight. That's good to just clear your mind and help you focus better. When it comes to cardio, however, there's a lot of controversy on this topic. There are basically 2 main forms of cardio you can do. You have HIIT cardio, which is called high intensity interval training, and then you have like LIST, so it's low intensity steady state cardio. And a lot of people tend to think that HIIT is better than LIST. However, you kind of don't really burn that many more calories doing HIIT, although it's like more intense, just because it's only like 20 minutes. So in that span of 20 minutes, you're burnt out, you're tired, you you've burned, let's say, 300 calories. But if you go on an hour-long walk, you can burn more, 400 calories. Sure, it'll take you more time, but you can recover better because your muscles won't be as, like, it's not as taxing on your body. And, you know, you can multitask. I call my friends when I go on my walks, things like that.
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
Especially if you're someone that lifts weights, you want to reduce the amount of HIIT you do because you want to recover from your weights and you want to make your weights your priority.
Okay.
I would recommend HIIT to people that are athletes, that are people that play football, basketball. They need to be specific with that sprinting, that high intensity. Or if you're like really short on time as well, HIIT is good. If you have time, I would recommend doing like lower intensity cardio that would last longer.
Yeah, because I did like a HIIT workout this morning, and I don't really do them that often, and I was like, I got like a stitch and I felt like awful, and I was like, I'm not like the most unfit person, like I do work out quite regularly, but I do like a lot more like strength building, like more like kind of planks and like floor work, so doing something so intense, I did find it like really, like I was exhausted after. So I definitely, like, it's not for everyone sort of thing. But what was the kind of slow cardio version you were talking about? Because I've never heard of that.
I would do like just a long walk, a brisk walk. So like you're not, you know, strolling. Like you're going on a brisk, fast walk. Up an incline is good, or something like a bike ride. Or I mean, obviously not now. We don't have access to pools or anything, but like a swim would be good. Something that like you can hold for, you know, 40 minutes to an hour that isn't like super taxing on you, but movement is what, you know, burns calories. It's good for your heart, it's good for your body. Because when you're sat down all day, like your glutes become inactive, your shoulders are rounded, so just moving your body is just like the main focus really. And getting outside, because the weather is so beautiful.
I know, it's so nice today. I know, because before all this happened, I would walk like over 10,000 steps a day, like easily, and I like love, because I live like in Oxford and the city is just so pretty, so I would walk around all the time, and I'm definitely finding, because I'm not walking every day so much, like I'm feeling that definitely, like especially in my legs and stuff. So I am looking forward to like being able to walk around a lot more, because I think having a bit of like balance between like intense workouts and kind of, like you said, like hour-long kind of walking, swimming. I think the like bit of both works really well for me.
Exactly, it's like just having that balance. Like I would recommend bringing the intensity to your weight sessions if you do weights, and then using the rest of like your workout, like just to walk, just do something, you know, to clear your mind as well, listen to podcasts, to music, things like that.
That's so true, because I find like with me for workouts, it's like my happy time, so I want it to be like as like nice and relaxing, but also like working out, but like, you know what I mean, like I want it to be like a tech free as well, so I think that's a great idea, like going for a walk and like meditating, doing like a meditative, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Is it
The guided ones that they have on, you can listen to the guided one and it really helps.
And like calling, like doing something else at the same time is such a good idea, like calling friends and listening to, I listen to so many podcasts while I'm walking, so I feel like I haven't listened to one in so long, because we've been inside, but so I know you do like online coaching. Do you want to like tell us a little bit more about that, like what's involved in that?
Yeah, of course, definitely. So with my online coaching, I do it like on a 4-week program basis. So every 4 weeks I give like the client a new program. So it includes a full training plan, and that obviously depends on like what equipment you would have right now. So that's why it's like super specific. Like some of my clients have no equipment, some of them just have bands, some of them just have like a light pair of dumbbells. So it's going to be completely tailored to your goals, you know, what you want to achieve with your body. And then there's also going to be a meal plan or a nutrition guide. Some people are like, oh, I don't want a strict plan, or like, oh, can you give me some guidance? So depending on what the client wants. And obviously I am vegan, but I know nutrition well enough to be able to, you know, say, you know, if you eat meat, you can eat this meat or like this fish or things like that. And then I also do weekly check-ins. I think that the check-ins are really important, and like they're the most valuable aspect, because when you have that like accountability like element, you have someone there that's going to check in with you. It really does help motivate my clients when it's like, oh, I'm sending my coach my photos like on Monday, oh, I'm calling my coach on this day, we're going to talk about things like that. And I also do like demo videos as well, so like I'll film myself doing the exercises and
that's so good.
Yeah, and I also do like virtual sessions as well. Those are like an add-on. So if you want to like actually like get that like motivation, as if you have a PT with you, I do those as well. It's pretty fun.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
I definitely agree with that accountability thing, because I always find when I post something online, like I'm going to be really healthy or like I'm going to work out, I always feel like, okay, I've said it online, people know, so I have to do it now. So I think that is so, so true. Yeah, that's really cool. I think definitely if people want to check it out, it's all on your Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got like links to everything. So like if people want to get in contact, would they just like message you on Instagram? Would that be the best?
Yeah, DM me and I answer straight away. Yeah.
Perfect. I've seen you do so many like YouTube videos recently. I'm loving the like.
I've been pumping out the content recently.
I know. I was like
to like fill up my days with things to do. So I'm like filming, editing. Yeah.
That's so true. I know, because I would just keep seeing every day. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's making me like feel bad. I'm only like doing like one YouTube video a week. I was like, I need to like do more now. But that's such a good thing. I think we have got quite a few questions, but if we just like maybe let's go through the questions and then see what else is going on. So
should we like scroll all the way to the top? My friends kind of spammed us. Okay.
I do have some questions that people sent in before as well, so we can...
go for it. Yeah, definitely.
Should we do those first? I feel like otherwise I'll forget. Yeah. So the ones I had, so I've got 4. Yeah, 4.
Okay.
So first one is, it was my question, which is the toning legs and like building your butt. Like what are the best exercises? I have resistant bands and like little weights. But apart from that, no other equipment. So what would you recommend?
So, like, with the smaller weights, you can do so many exercises. If you have, like, a pair of dumbbells, you can hold them, like, by your shoulders, and you can do squats. You can do lunges with the dumbbells by your side. You can do a deadlift. My favorite exercise for the glutes is called a hip thrust. I post about it on my page all the time. It's when you have, like, your shoulder blades against the bench. And then your knees are, like, at 90 degrees, and you just, like, squeeze your butt all the way up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're just basically like clenching your butt. It's like a glute bridge hip thrust. That is the best for your glutes.
Okay.
I actually have a video on my IGTV. It's a pump. It's for part of my pump series. It's like a full glute workout. That one's killer.
Okay.
So you can do that with weights, without weights. And then in general, when it comes to like just general principles of like wanting to tone up a body part, you can like specifically choose which body part to work in terms of like building the muscle. But you can't choose where you lose the fat. So where the fat comes off depends on like your genetics. So if you eat in a calorie deficit, you will lose body fat, and that will give you a more toned look. And then to focus on the shape of your legs, that's when you do more like leg exercises, if that makes sense. And protein. Protein's very important as well. Okay,
maybe I need some more protein then. No, I think it's just like, because again I said, because I used to walk so much before this happened, and then now I'm working from home, I'm sitting so much, and I think that's why I'm finding it like with my legs, I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? So so which like goes on nicely to my next question, which is like, what tips do you have for people that are sitting a lot, working from home at the moment? What's like a good, like, is there any exercises they can do like while they're working or like in between sessions? Like, what do you recommend?
Definitely. So when it comes to like, if you're very sedentary all day, stretching, I cannot stress enough how important that is. So the main bits that you want to stretch are your hips and your like pecs and your shoulders up here, because when you're sat down or rounded forward,
my shoulders are doing this.
Here becomes super tight, your shoulders and your pecs. And then like your back is quite like loose. So what you want to do is a lot of back strengthening exercises and strengthen your pecs. To strengthen the pecs, my favorite exercise is find like the corner of a wall. And bring this part of your forearm like just against that wall, and then come forward. You'll feel like a very nice stretch in your pecs there. If you do that for like 30 seconds to a minute, like a couple times a day, that's just great to open up your chest. For the hips, there's like a load of like different stretches you can do. My favorites are the pigeon pose. Really good. And then you want to activate and train your glutes, because your glutes become inactive when you're sat down all day. So things like, again, squats, hip thrusts, glute bridges, those are great for waking up your glutes. Okay,
so maybe I'll just like do a few squats in between like doing my online meetings and stuff. I'll have to try that.
And that's like, if you're sat down all day based on the work, that is when a short, intense workout can come in handy. If you don't have the time to go on a long walk, then do a short burst of like, 20-minute HIIT workout. That could be good. As well.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to. I think squats is for me though. I think because then that's gonna like tone my legs, for my butt. I'm just going to be like squatting all day long.
Yeah,
Doing lots of good times. Another question we had was, she's feeling demotivated. What can I do to ease myself back into exercise and fitness?
Of course. So when it comes to motivation, I think, like, obviously not everyone's motivated all the time. It's about cultivating discipline. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but that's really what it comes down to. So that's one thing, cultivating discipline, but also not going into it, like not doing too much too quickly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get back into it, start with just like a 30-minute workout 2-3 times a week. Like, don't stress over it, don't put too much pressure on yourself, but just be disciplined and commit to doing those like shorter, less frequent sessions, and then build it up. Like, slowly just do better than last time. So that's something that really helps with, like, you know, just getting started again. And when it comes to discipline, this is something that I listen to this podcast. It's called The Mindset Mentor.
Okay.
And his name is Rob, the guy that does it. And he said that when you cultivate discipline in other areas of your life, it carries over. Okay. So let's say, like, things like, you know, when you, like, take off a sweater and you don't put it back in your closet straight away. Like, it's so easy to just go and do it, but we're lazy. But if you cultivate discipline there, if you're like, okay, now I'm going to put that there, like, I'm going to put it back straight away, or I'm going to make my bed in the morning, that carries over to your exercise and to your diet. It sounds weird, but
it's so true.
Like, I'm trying to just be on top of everything else in my life, but, like, it's just a habit now that when it comes to diet, exercise, it's like, I know I have to do this, so I'm going to do it, you know? It's
so true.
One last thing I'd recommend for motivation, do it with a friend.
Yeah.
Message your friend, be like, hey, I'm going to work out now. And send a sweaty selfie to your friend afterwards to prove it, you know?
Yeah.
That accountability, really important.
Yeah, 100%. I also think for me, like, in terms of motivating myself to work out and stuff, I always find, like, make it as easy as possible. So, like, if I'm going to work out in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm getting out my nice fitness workout clothes, ready, put the, like, trainers by the bed. Like, make it easy for yourself so then you have no excuses. So, like, because if you wake up and then you're like, oh, I don't know what to put on, I don't know what workout to do, by the time you've decided, you're going to be like, oh, I'll just do it later, and then you won't do it.
Exactly.
So that's definitely a big thing for me. But I definitely agree with the mindset thing. Like, if I kind of write goals for the week, and then in that I'll be like, okay, I'll just increase it by 1. And then when you kind of tick things off, you feel so much better. If you give yourself unrealistic goals and are like, I'm going to work out every day when you haven't, I think it's so, like, it's just going to demotivate you because you know it's not a, like, reachable goal.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, like, sustainable either.
Yeah.
You know that you're not going to adhere to it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely, like, think that's a really cool thing. The last one we had was like, for people that are going through the menopause, like, what exercises are good for that? Because obviously when you go through the menopause, your body shape changes a lot. So things like kind of around the stomach area, like, what would you recommend for that?
Yeah, of course. So when it comes to menopause, basically what's happening in your body is just a change in hormones, in, like, which hormones are being released. So you find that your body's going to change because your metabolism is slowing down, and depending on what hormones are, like, lowering or, you know, being increased, you might become more, you might start storing fat in different areas that you didn't used to store it in before. Yeah. So that combined with the slower metabolism, you might think, like, oh my god, like, what is happening? I don't have control over this, but you do. So unfortunately, there's no exercise you can do to, like, spot reduce fat in a specific area. So a lot of women will be like, oh, I'm gaining more in my stomach now. Yeah. Well, honestly, the key to that is, like, you're going to have to become a bit more active and eat a tiny bit fewer calories in order to be in that calorie deficit. So if you track your food and you track your steps and, like, your cardio and be consistent with it over time, that helps a lot with managing, you know, like, storing fat in your stomach, for instance. Yeah. And then also, like, when it comes to ab exercises, it's very commonly, like, thought that, like, oh, if I do this exercise, I'm going to get abs. But in reality, it's just going to strengthen your core, but the abs are already there. It's about just uncovering the layer of fat that's there. Yeah. And also, like, just related to, like, menopause and being in that stage of life, like, sometimes sleep can be really scarce. And when your sleep is not, you know, if you're not sleeping enough, like 4 hours a night, your cortisol levels will go up. And when you have a lot of cortisol, you become more inflamed and you store more water, especially around the midsection. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So sleep is really important. Like, before this lockdown, I was so shit with sleep, and now it's alright. But yeah, definitely. So when you reduce your cortisol levels, when you're not as stressed, the inflammation goes down, the water goes down. So a lot of the time, people are like, I have so much fat here, when it's really just water and inflammation.
Yeah.
And touching on sleep as well, it affects different kinds of hormones in your body. So when you're sleep deprived, a hormone called ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, goes up. And then a hormone called leptin, which is a satiety hormone, your fullness hormone, goes down. So when you're more sleep deprived, you're more likely to, like, you know, have cravings, be hungry, or things like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously when you're like going through menopause, it can be stressful on your body, on everything. You know, as a woman, it can be very stressful. So just trying to manage the stress and manage the sleep will help loads with controlling your food and your nutrition.
I had no idea. Like, those things are so fascinating to me because that like so makes sense to me, because when I don't get enough sleep, I'm always like wanting to snack so much more. But also like the water thing, because I had the other day, I posted on my Instagram stories, it was so random. I'd eaten quite a lot of salad all day. Like, I had salad for lunch and like dinner, like big portions, more than usual, and I drank a lot of water because I'd worked out and I was like really thirsty, and I just got so bloated. And I was like, you know, when you're like, I've been so good all day, why am I getting punished by this? And then
all the fiber in the water.
then someone like commented and was like, maybe you've like been drinking so much water. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was a thing.
Definitely. And like related to that topic actually, because you know when you're like at home all the time, you tend to just like look at your body a lot, like in the mirror, just body check kind of. And like it's not inherently a bad thing, but as girls especially, like our bodies fluctuate so much. And there's this girl on Instagram, her name is Natasha Ocean. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of her. She's like a Gymshark athlete. She just uploaded a video to YouTube actually. She recorded her body fluctuations over 30 days. And she explains the science behind it, like around the time of the month, or like how after a workout it causes inflammation in your muscles, so you might look a lot more bloated. And you can really see like day to day your body can change so much.
That's
even though your food is the same. It can depend on your sleep, on your workouts, things like that. So I definitely recommend checking out her video.
That's crazy. Yeah, because it's so I like really get like random bloating, and I think that like explains so much now. Because you know as well, like if you don't know what it's caused by, I feel like you can get so down, and especially like you said with girls, it's so easy to like body check all the time. And if you've just worked out and drunk loads of water, been healthy, and then your body's bloated, you're like, oh, what's the point of continuing? So I think understanding that will make you realize, oh, okay, it's good that I did the exercising and eating healthy. It's like not really mean. It's still okay. But yeah, that's so interesting. I feel like I need to read more into that, like about the whole sleep and water thing.
There's a lot of science behind it.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so should we move on to some of the questions we've had? So there's 2 like question stickers here. I've got this one. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's exactly.
This is my friend.
Okay.
I'm gonna go big delts and arms. Okay. So normal shoulders and arms. This is what every guy wants: big shoulders, big arms. Well, I would recommend training them if they're like a weak body part for you, your shoulders and your arms. Train them at least twice a week. Make sure that you're focusing on progressive overload. So increasing the weight, increasing the reps, the sets that you do week after week. You want to combine compound movements with isolation exercises as well. With the shoulders, I feel like in general, shoulders respond really well to a lot of volume. So doing a lot of volume on your shoulders is really good. And then big arms. The arms, so basically is the bicep and the tricep muscle. Since these muscles are antagonists, you can do exercises for them back to back. You can do a bicep exercise first, and then a tricep exercise right after. You're saving time. So I'd recommend doing loads of supersets for your arms to save time and get that volume in. And especially for so basically the bicep and the tricep, you can hit them from different angles. So there's like a curl that you can do when the elbows behind you. If you have a bench, obviously I don't have a gym, so no bench. At the gym, when you're like lying down on a bench, you can do an incline curl. So that's like that different plane of movement right there. You can do straight standing barbell curl, and then a preacher curl where your elbow is in front of you. So hitting the bicep from those 3 different angles is super important. This is what I get for like hanging around like loads of guys that talk about this all the time. I don't train my biceps. I don't want to. My biceps are fine, but I think it's it for any guys watching.
What's good for the triceps though? Because I always find like I want to tighten that area.
So the triceps, you don't do anything like extends the arms and things.
Okay.
I like in the gym, for instance, like things with the cables are great because with dumbbells you kind of lose tension. There's this exercise that girls do a lot actually for some reasons. When you're like here and you're just kind of extending like that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad exercise, but the tension isn't very constant on the muscle throughout. So if you have a band and you use a band to do the same movement instead of a dumbbell, it's a lot better. So anything where you're extending the tricep, I would recommend two main exercises. One where you're like pushing it down like this. And then one where you're like right here and you're extending over your head.
Oh, okay. I do that one right now.
Make sure you hit the tricep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, at least I'm doing... Okay, that one's good. I'm doing one right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool. It's just so good to know because I think sometimes you can get so used to doing the same exercises all the time. You need like new ones to like change it up a bit and like work different muscles. So, okay. So should we have a look at what other questions there were?
Yeah. Is there another sticker?
Was there another sticker? Ooh, what happened? Where am I?
It's left your screen.
Oh, I was like, where is that? And I was like, oh, it's actually in my garden. The other one was the feeling demotivated that I think we already kind of covered.
Yeah, we covered that already. Okay, I'm just looking. I'm scrolling up the comments now. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the first question? I think it's okay. Brian's trying to be funny as usual. Corn thins. This is one of my favorite snacks are corn thins. They taste better than rice cakes, FYI.
What was that? Corn
thins. It's like a corn cake. It's like a rice cake. Made with corn. Really good.
Oh, okay. Oh, we'll have to look into that. I think one of the ones I saw was what was the best time of day to exercise.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one actually because this again, like most questions, it depends.
Yeah.
So I mean, for a lot of people, they like getting it out of the way in the morning. Which I mean, if you're not gonna get it done in the afternoon, definitely work out in the morning if that's best for you. And if you feel like you're not motivated in the afternoon, great. However, issues with training in the morning are very likely dehydrated once you wake up.
Yeah.
So I recommend getting at least a full liter of water in you before you train. It seems like a lot, but it is super important to hydrate your muscles. Yeah, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, if you're gonna train in the morning, I recommend at least having some protein before because if you train completely fasted, it's not optimal for like muscle protein synthesis. You need protein in your body for that to happen. But if you're going to do cardio in the morning, feel free to do it empty stomach, that's fine. But if you're going to do resistance training, try and get some protein in before, and water is super important. But in general, like I recommend training later throughout the day because you have more meals in you, you have more energy in you. But it's not going to make a huge difference, honestly. Like, the difference it would make is minimal, and it just depends on, like, when you feel your best and you're energized, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but if I was going to do more, like, weight stuff, it would be better if I'd have had protein already.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's interesting. Because I normally do workout in the morning.
Yeah.
I think I did try working out one time, like more in the evening, but I just found, because I always find really so much more energetic after I've worked out, so I just couldn't sleep, so it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't like working out too late at night either. It's usually like the first half of the day, definitely,
Yeah, and then when you eat, you feel like, oh, well, I've worked out, so I don't feel as bad. I know that's just my mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there is one more question sticker. I don't know why it popped up, but there's no other ones. Is there any other ones you can see?
It's just Brian and Andre are just asking so many questions. Oh my god, this is so funny.
I did have one other question I wanted to ask you actually, which was what inspired you to kind of get into personal training and fitness? What was your like initial inspiration for that?
So for fitness in general, like I've always kind of been working out some way since I was a kid. It wasn't always for the healthiest reasons. Like I started working out when I was 12 because I wanted to be like really skinny, and then it like spiraled into an eating disorder. It was really bad. But then like the fitness that I'm into now is actually helping me recover. So that was basically it. Like it was basically me just finding out about weights, and realizing that in order to be good at this, in order to be good at lifting weights, I needed to fuel my body, eat more to progress and get stronger. So that's mainly what got me like started, and what kept me going is honestly I'm like really passionate about bodybuilding because I think it's amazing how you can sculpt your body, control the way you look and how your muscles look by exercising and eating right. And then the personal training bit, it's really funny because I was like, so I've only been a member of one gym my whole life. It's like the gym in Bloomsbury. That's where I met all my friends, things like that. I was talking to one of the PTs there. His name is Andre, who was like tuned in like to this right now actually. And we were good friends. And I asked him like, you know, Dre, like how much do you charge per session? And he told me his price is like, you know what? I was like 17 at the time. So I was like, wow, that's like, you know, a lot of money. Like, I want to do that. Like, I want to be able to make money doing something fun. I didn't know that you could make a good, like, comfortable living as a personal trainer. I genuinely had no idea. And then I asked him, like, oh, but is the qualification long? And he was like, no, it's really easy. So I was like, oh, wow. So over that summer, and, like, I turned 18 years old, I did my qualification, and then I just got started.
That's amazing. It's such a young age as well to kind of, like, go into something that you like. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, what would you give as tips then for people that kind of want to get personal training, like want to start getting into it?
Start getting into it. I mean, obviously, if personal training and coaching is really important in the beginning, if you want to learn things right and avoid doing all the mistakes, because you know you can just like skip ahead like so many months of just mistakes, and it's also really safe. It's a lot safer than doing it by yourself because you can injure yourself if you don't use proper form. A lot of guys like will lift with their ego and lift way too much weight, and they can injure themselves. Even with girls, like sometimes I'll see things where like they're doing exercises that aren't very effective for their goals because they lack the knowledge, or sometimes it's like you lack that confidence, and it's nice to have a coach be there with you and tell you that you're doing well or that you're doing things right. So I definitely recommend. And when it comes to hiring a coach, like if you're trying to find someone to help you, try and make sure you can vibe well with that person, if that makes sense. Because I mean, most of my clients are like girls mid-20s because it's like, you know, similar age, similar interests, things like that. So make sure you can vibe well with a person. So I'd always recommend, like, if the person you're, like, talking to, if they're going to offer you a consult, is it over the phone or is it, like, really cold via text, you know? So try and speak to them first, and also look at, like, their knowledge and, like, also previous transformations, like, you know, testimonials, things like that. And just make sure you do your research and make sure you vibe with the person, definitely.
Yeah, that's so true. Because if like you don't like the person, you're not going to want to work out.
Exactly,
That's such a true. I think I saw another question pop up while we were talking.
So many comments. I'm just like losing track of what everyone's saying.
I think there was one that said about like what YouTube videos you recommend. I suppose your own.
Well, okay, that's like plug. No, I'm joking. I mean, okay. Well, in general, like, in terms of, like, YouTubers that I like to watch, they are mostly guys. And I don't know why. I just feel like the only girl that posts, like, scientific-based evidence, like, research on training, her name is Stephanie Buttermore. Other than that, a lot of guys, like Jeff Nippard, Omar Issouf, are a couple of big names, top of my head. There's this bodybuilder, his name is Greg Doucette. He makes funny fitness videos, so I definitely recommend him. But he puts out like good information because he's like a really like experienced bodybuilder. And then also, when this is kind of tied to motivation, try and find workouts that are like real time on YouTube. I'm actually getting on that train as well. I'm going to start doing weekly videos every Friday. It's like a real-time full workout. Like, I'm doing the workout with you, motivating you.
That's cool. I'm
like,
going to have to tune in.
Out, like, you know, because a lot of the workouts on Instagram, they just post the exercises, but then you do it by yourself. So now I'm just trying to go more on YouTube and do the workouts in real time so that people can, like, do it at the same time as me. Things like that. So... yeah, definitely. Those are some channels I recommend, and my channel as well. Please go check it out.
I'm gonna have to. I
post videos on like all things fitness, nutrition, and like some personal stuff as well. So
I'm gonna have to check out your the lives though, because I think that's so true. Like I find when I do one and I follow along at the same time, it's just so much easier. Because if you're just watching one, you can just be like, I'm just gonna stop it, because it's like no one's. It's that whole like accountability thing. I think again. In terms of like YouTube videos I've been watching, I did like the body coach one this morning. That was the HIIT workout I did. But I think it's like HIIT is not for everyone. I think it just depends. But also if you want like more of a funny one as well, and you like dance, there's the Fitness Marshall. And he does really good, like it'll be like songs that you know, like they're in the charts, and he'll do like a little dance cardio to it. Which I really love because I used to do dancing back when I was like at school. So I just love like listening to Beyonce and like being able to work out at the same time. It's like a win-win.
I love dancing. You know, like that's another form of cardio that's actually amazing that I forgot to mention. How important me. Like literally just blast. We're stuck at home. No one's watching you. Like just blast your music and dance. Like honestly, it's amazing. But I'm so with you on the dancing. No, because even sometimes when I'm like, I can't be bothered to watch a video, or I just want to like, I'll just put music on and I'll start dancing. I'll be like, I'm so hot right now. I've basically worked out. Exactly. Yeah, it's really good cardio.
What's your favourite music then? What do you like working at, like dancing to?
Dancing to probably like reggaeton. Like I love anything reggaeton, and I also really like just like R&B, hip hop. Because it's funny because I would never listen to this music ever. Like I can't just sit there and listen to that. But dancing to it, yes. Like
that's interesting.
Like the music I listen to like metal, so that's like completely different. But
I
like I work out to like a lot of metal as well. It's like really intense. But to dance to it, like reggaeton and like hip hop, R&B. Like,
see, I'm exactly.
2000s R&B is really good.
Yes, but I like listen to it normally anyway. But that is so my vibe. Okay, we'll both just be like dancing at home, like to our little 90s R&B. But I don't know if there was any other questions. That was the last one I saw.
Down to see Dre saying he sent 3 stickers. Okay, would you rather live the next 10 years of your life in China or Russia? Probably China.
I think I might go with Russia. It's always been...
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like intrigued.
Russia's so cold, man. I can't. It's cold.
This is true. I know when the sun comes out, I'm like my happiest for sure.
Yeah.
I
think I would do China.
Definitely. Okay. That's such a random question.
That's a random one,
but what, like, so you're on YouTube, aren't you? So it's Instagram, YouTube. Are you on any other social channels? Is there any other?
I have a website.
Okay.
It's AliaaLifts.co.uk.
Okay. Is that on your Instagram?
No, because I have a YouTube channel in my YouTube channel in my bio right now. But yeah, AliaaLifts.co.uk.
Okay, cool.
It's my website, and I mean, I don't really do Facebook because in my opinion, Facebook's kind of dead. I don't know.
I never go on it. I have a Facebook page, and that's the only. I don't actually go onto my personal Facebook like ever. So whenever people message me, I'm like, I just don't look at it. I've turned notifications off. So I don't even know. But I've been trying to get into like YouTube a bit more recently. And like, have you been doing any TikTok? That's like seems to be like the big thing
TikTok
right now.
TikTok is the one thing I'm going to stay away from, I think, for as long as possible. Because I know myself, if I get on TikTok, I will become addicted, like beyond. I'm already hooked on Instagram. I spend hours on this app, like every day.
Yeah.
So TikTok, I like watching them, but like I wouldn't I don't have the app. I will never download. How about you?
I've got the app, and I started doing some videos, and like that first kind of 2 weeks, I was just obsessed. Could not stop watching videos, and it was just too much. I was like, I'm wasting so much time. I just spent like an hour watching TikTok for no reason. So I want to try and make more content for it, but I'm just trying to like go on there and be able to post and not watch anything. I'm like, how do I do it? I can't watch. So, but I do want to get into it more because I think it's been so popular during like this whole isolation thing. So, I think I might get into it. But
it's so funny.
What are you drinking? I want to know actually as well.
I'm drinking English breakfast tea.
Oh,
he asked, do I do transformation package? I actually do have a package on offer. There's like the full details on my website if you guys want to check it out.
I actually had a cup of tea before this.
What about Talk?
Do I need to
take protein after workout? Yes, protein after workout is important. It doesn't matter if it's like right away or a couple hours later, but yes, protein is important after workout.
What's like your best protein? Oh, you've got that recipe on the blog. I need to check out for the vegan.
Lots of recipes actually. Like on my Instagram, I have these protein brownies. They're like 43 calories per brownie, and they're so good. My favorite protein powder is the PhD Smart Plant Protein. Those are really good.
Okay. Oh, I think I saw your brownie post actually because I was like, oh my god, I got so hungry after seeing it. It looks so good.
That one got a lot of saves. Everyone was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Need to make them. Okay, I think we've kind of gone through all the questions then. But if you want to find out more, then check out your YouTube channel. It's all on your Instagram links and everything, isn't it? But thank you so much for being a guest. It was super interesting. I feel like I learned so much. It was like so educational.
I'm glad you did. But this was so much fun. I had a great time.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for being a guest. And if anybody like missed this and wants to watch it again or like watch any bits, I'm gonna pop it on YouTube and hopefully IGTV in the next like 24 hours. So definitely check it out. Yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.